Hello and welcome to week 2. Thank you, Emily, for participating in this program again. I think you did rather well last week, and I think we got the stats up here on the screen, which hopefully I am sharing. And thank you in particular for your reflection on how the week went, and some good feedback there, and in particular about going harder than perhaps you have in the past. So I think we just need to watch that this week. I've got a few high intensity runs and bike rides this week. So if there's anything that's not feeling quite right, as ever, just abandon the session or reduce the intensity depending on how you're feeling. But under no circumstances do we want to risk pushing too hard just to complete the session and then suffering a setback. So let's just go and have a look at what next week has in store. As you rightly pointed out, it looks like I had a bit of session dyslexia last week. What was 9, what I posted in as a 9, 3 times 9, I actually meant to post in a 9-minute, 3-minute power test protocol, which we'll do tomorrow. So I think you've done a similar session before in the past, so I think you know what to prepare for. So hopefully you're getting a good night's sleep after today's bike ride, and you'll be fresh and ready to go for that test tomorrow. Looking at the details here, I put the power targets in, but I mean, for the 9-minute and the 3-minute, run by feel, I mean, basically you're running in theory maximum effort for those durations, but again, being mindful of anything that doesn't feel quite right. You don't want to push yourself in any doubt, just abandon the session. But these on your watch are just targets, run by feel, run how intense you feel you can sustain for those durations. I put in the usual physio sets from St. Jude's. So if you just, again, keep recording there and just monitoring the progress against the sets. And then perhaps next week we can look and see if any of these targets need to be adjusted. We can readjust the program to suit. On Tuesday, I put in a steady run with some fartlek intervals in there. So pretty nice and easy. So, I mean, majority of the run is at zone 2, nice steady, but then you got these 6 1-minute spikes with a 2-minute rest interval, I think. No, it's one 1-minute rest interval, forgive me, between each of these. That's just to spice it up. I mean, feel free to abort these if necessary. If you're feeling particularly strong, then by all means, and strong and rested, by all means, carry this out again. Just being sensitive to anything that doesn't feel quite right. But I'll leave this entirely at your discretion if you want to carry these fartleks. But it's a nice way to finish off a set like this. On Wednesday, we got a threshold, 5 times 6 minute threshold on the turbo. You should be able to load this onto Zwift. As we can see, we have the intensity is at pretty much at your FTP, your bike FTP, and at 6-minute intervals. I mean, you did your FTP last week and you're holding it for 20 minutes. So, I mean, we got 30 minutes in total here. So it's just stretching that, but obviously you've got your rest intervals in between. I'm pretty sure you've done a session like this before. So hopefully familiar with how it feels. And then of course I'll be meeting you at the pool later on that night at 8:15, and then we're going to focus on where we left off last week in terms of that single arm drill, which I think you felt was uncomfortable. And building up to that, before we get into single arm swimming, we're going to do a catch-up drill. I mean, there's mixed views on catch up, but in terms of actually promoting a glide. But what we got here is it's really just to help you progress into the main set, which is single arm swim. That's really to help you develop that effective catch. So I've got dog barking and a boy walking in the kitchen. Thank you. It's okay. Thursday, I put in the track session that we spoke about. So this is 8 400 meters. So if you can do this at Ashland Park, run from the house to Ashland Park if you can, as part of your warm up, and then go through some of the running warm up, which I post on here. Just a quick look at that. There's just some stretches, dynamic stretches, and just for you to carry out before you actually start running. When this is a high intensity set, you want to throw warm up beforehand. So not only just your run, getting your heart rate up, but also just getting those hip flexors loosened up. And indeed, I posted some running form drills here as well with a demonstration from British Triathlon in these video links. I think you'll be familiar with all of these drills, particularly in training with the Tri Club. We do all of these at the Tri Club. And followed by swim skills. Again, we'll be building on where we leave off here on Thursday set. Friday, again, another turbo set. So this will be a little bit of an easier session than on Wednesday, and it will be sweet spot training. So this is about 80 to 90% of 95% of your FTP. Let's just find it 4 times. We have 4 10 minutes. So it's, not got the percentages here, but it should be between about 83, 93% of your FTP. And then on to Saturday. So I'll see you in the lake again. And what we'll be doing here is just progressing from where we were, and just trying to increase the distances that we were swimming. Try and work on pacing and try not to feeling out of breath, and just building that sort of swim fitness and not stopping at the walls like you would in the lake. I mean, I'm sorry, in the pool. Swimming in the lake really helps, get into a rhythm, almost a meditative state. I often find myself swimming, just losing myself in the environment and my thoughts. But anyway, we're just going to try and work on increasing that distance, and hopefully it'll be as lovely and as warm as next week as it has been this week. Working on some site navigation as well. Now what? Just increase the bike on Sunday just by 15 minutes. We did 2 hours today. Next week, just increase it just that a little bit more. Depending how you're feeling, there's a lot of stuff in here. Depending how you're feeling, we'll might play with the intensity, just notching that intensity up just a bit. But just being mindful of how you feel from the rest of the week. I mean, in essence, this is a zone 2. We're just because you're not riding with a power meter, it's a little bit difficult to gauge for me whether you're top end or bottom end of that zone 2. So we'll just have a play with intensity during that ride, and that is the next week. So in no time at all, I'm sure we'll be there with the first race. And as I said, what I'll try and do is hook up with Diane at a club and try and organize something for a group open water school swim session. So before the race in August, you're swimming with a group of open water swimmers, and we can practice those kind of skills. And anything else, just give me a message, email, whatever. If you got any concerns about any of these sets during the week, happy to talk them through and adjust them to suit. particularly if you're feeling niggles or something doesn't feel quite right. Anyway, good luck for next week, and I will see you, I think it's on Wednesday. Take care.